Our whole
Welcome back to Solynod Hex, everybody. It's session 158. And we'll go right back into Bother Doom, where we left off last session, when the party was about to go into the guts of the Dwarven City. Let's see, where is that map? Panoplia East, Gronar, Bother Doom, 1-4, okay. And the party was in front of the gate to the inner sanctum. At this time, everyone go ahead and add 200 points to your main character for showing up on time. Thank you very much for showing up on time.
You're welcome.
Sorry about our technical difficulties right at the beginning. I had to make a new Discord server. So, we're now in that, and we're back in this. Alright, so I just gotta put some of you guys back onto the map. So, okay.
That must be why everything is black. I'm not there.
And Illuvio, okay.
Your eyes are closed. You can't see anything. It's goblin invisibility, guys.
Ah. Oh no.
Goblin invincibility's OP.
What's that from?
I don't know the first time I heard it, but, you know, I know Rory and shit like that used to say it, but I don't know if it came from like a movie or something first.
Goblin invincibility. Okay, so I believe we left off with Thrasham's turn, and he had just say again.
Black.
Did you ping us, or is it
Yeah, I'll
just
ping you.
not loaded?
Oh, whew.
So if you zoom out a little bit, Thrasham,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see the rest of your characters, and I think you had some characters back here.
Yeah, it's like
so-
Will-O-Wisp and stuff are by the front gate.
No, they're not by the front gate. They're really far into the city.
Oh yeah, it's like, well, they went through the courtyard or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so they're just right behind you, actually.
Okay.
Over here. Do you see my line?
Yeah, it's loading. Oh.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. Hopefully, everyone but Thrasham can add 200 points to their characters, and then, or to their main character, and then Thrasham could just go along with his turn and then add 200 to his character.
Yeah, I just put it on my little notes.
Oh, you already
page.
did. Okay.
No level for me from that. Sorry.
I feel you. I need another 40k.
I need like 160,000 or. So Thrasham will walk up to the door here, or ride up to the door on his majestic steed.
Yeah, it looks like there is a speakeasy about 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll get up here and then dismount and then knock on the door, I guess.
Okie doke. So,
I don't know where the door is. Is this whole thing a
it's-
door? Because
yeah, but the speakeasy is right about here. So you're pretty much in the right area. And a dwarf that looks like this opens up the speakeasy and he says,
Yeah,
Thrasham, may I here? I come to speak to the high priest.
wait a minute. You talking about the Thrasham Maya
As far as I know, I'm the only one.
from out west?
Yes, I come from Duragard.
You mean to tell me you actually sailed to get here to my speakeasy?
Well, once,
man.
yeah. It was like a 2-month journey or something like that. It was quite long, but
And the speakeasy slides shut suddenly, and then nothing happens for like 60 seconds. And then, after about 60 seconds, a door that looks like this wall sort of just starts sliding out. It's like, come on. Remember, dwarf doors are invisible when closed.
yes. Speak friend.
And the dwarf that you were talking about is right here, or talking to is right here. And you can see a detachment of dwarf soldiers behind him, and the entrance to a grand temple beyond.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no problem. Come on in. You're probably gonna want to talk to the high priest. He's inside.
All right. And then that's about all I can do right now.
Okay.
Let's move my other characters.
And next we have Calamar and Company.
Excuse me. Calamar is thinking. He's like leans over to Alluvio and like speaks to him in Elvish, going, "Yeah, Thrasham's like a big celebrity and stuff. I mean, who knew our little Thrasham? He's so sweet." So he and Alluvio.
Oh, you broke up.
I heard it stopped right after like he and Alluvio. Must have crashed completely for her.
Shannon, are you there?
I think it crashed because it's not even showing her lighting up.
Hey, that's something.
Oh, there she goes.
No, I'm switching her
Oh.
around. Shannon, can you hear me? Yeah, it crashed. She finally logged out and logged back in.
Gone on.
I hate the interwebs.
Oh, okay, there we go. Now you're good.
Sorry about that. Did
Oh,
you
that's
hear
fine.
anything I said?
No.
Right after it said you and Alluvio, and then it just cut off.
Okay, yeah, my internet reset.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
she's yeah. So yeah, they're speaking in Elvish, and he says, "Our little Thrasham's really a celebrity. I mean, who knew?" And then we just move over behind him to follow him into the temple, and we're done.
Okay. Then we have this poor little hill dwarf who was being dragged through the street. This poor little murderous hill dwarf. They're now just pulling him, of course, by the shackles. So you guys have somewhat diffused the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more lynch mob.
Varen's polymorph self. It's now a quarter after noon, and Varen's turn. Varen's move.
Yep. Varen will begin to approach the temple. Well, what are we waiting for? And ironically, that will be his turn.
All right. Jezzy and company.
I'm just gonna.
So out of combat, you can fly up to 24 squares. And let's see.
Believe.
Yeah, in combat it's 12. Out of combat, it's double. Let's see. Keep. Daily routine. Did I get to...
Fly over here above the stairs.
Okay. Alright, so... inside, you can see the trappings of a grand temple. The outer wall surrounds a small yard with dirt pathways, and then beyond the edges of the dirt pathways are several fountains and some stone work stops. And then you can also see inside partially the temple is the floor is made of a polished white stone, and on the floor you can see two masonry, like what are they called when you have tiles on the floor that make a picture?
Mosaic.
Mosaic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So mosaics of several holy symbols with which you are not familiar. Okay. Thrasham and Company.
All right. So he shall move forward.
Walk like a legend. You don't want to disappoint.
Yeah, trip and fall. Oh, you know,
Dex check.
it's the other Thresher man. Okay, so yeah, the legend does not say I have a 2 dex. Sorry. I guess scroll down.
So when you pass, or when you begin to pass, these soldiers
Yeah.
sort of they part to let you through.
Moving on.
They sort of say, you know, in Dwarvish, make way, to allow you to pass through between them. And it looks like they're guarding the entrance.
Alright, Thatcher will just nod. Thank you, gentlemen.
Make way for Thrash Maya. Or Marta. Mate, March.
It's
I
may
always
I?
get those two mixed up.
All right.
March
so-
to.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and then guess we'll get off Adra so he doesn't walk through the temple on a mount, you know.
Yeah.
And he'll stop more or less here. Get dismount. Get off. Get off. There we go.
Okay, so inside you see much the same that Jezzy saw. There's an inner courtyard of grass with a dirt path, at the ends of which are some stone stops, beyond which are some fountains, and then you can see inside the temple the floor is made of white stone polished tiles, and there are mosaics of the holy symbols of Moradin Dwarf Father on the floor near the entrance. Beyond is a hammer-shaped altar. on the sides of which are either side are two braziers, and beyond in the very back is a golden statue of Moradin himself. And in the interim, you see two dwarves, one guarding the entrance, and a priest making his rounds at the altar, possibly spreading out sacraments and whatnot. Okay. Calamar and Company.
Alright. Calamar and Livio are just going to kind of trot in after Thrasham. But you have to remember, like, pretty much the entire time we're moving around town, Calamar has that country bumpkin in the big city for the first time look on his face. Like, he's looking around at everything going, wow! Oh, God! You know, everything. It's just like, I've never been to a dwarf city before. This is awesome! But he's not saying it. It's, you can tell from the way his little eyes, like his little red eyes, are just looking at everything. And so, you know, they'll pull up behind. We'll pull up behind Azuro and dismount, and get ready to follow Thrasham in.
Okay. And the hill dwarf gets hauled off a little bit further. Just as Thrasham's company passes by.
Oh yeah, I forgot the other guys.
Okay, so they just sort of cross paths. And Varen's polymorph, 16 after, Varen and Company. James, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Varen just, he's gonna walk in,
So
follow the party.
This dwarf here nods to you as you pass by.
Yeah, Varen would nod back.
And these other dwarves kind of salute. Possibly thinking you're a captain of some kind, maybe.
I guess in response, Varen would do the kind of salute, would also salute back. But it would be a Asura salute, so they might not understand what it means.
You raise a wing that you don't have, and
Yeah. Alright, Jezzy and Company. So the rest of the group sort of comes up to surround you. Unbeknownst to them, of course, because you're invisible.
Be in the sky. Woohoo! One.
So there are several things inside the building that look like you could play with. There's some fountains on either side of the inner sanctum. There's some fire next to the altar. And a big statue of gold in the back.
Tell me that. I'm scratching.
Looks like you've found a side entrance
Oh, is that what I'm doing? I thought I
directly
was
ahead
just
of you. Yeah.
tell because there's so many light walls. Ridiculous. Okay.
Alright, inside the side entrance, you can see plain as day the shiny gold statue of Moradin, which is a dwarf god that you really know nothing about. It's about 10 feet tall and looks like it's made out of solid gold. Beautifully crafted. It has etchings all over it, and the work looks very, very detailed, like it's of the finest craftsmanship. Okay, Thrasham and Company.
alright, so Thresham shall move inside. Belto will follow, and you'll call out to the priest by the altar. Goes, "Hail, good dwarf. Where might I find the high priest?"
This dwarf guarding the entrance He looks like this here. Come on, ship the... There we go. So he's got this halberd, and he comes up to the entrance quickly, and...
Who goes? Who goes?
I am Thrasham Mai, High Priest of Baranar. True Silver. I seek an audience with the High Priest of Morden.
No kidding. Father Dean, Thrasham Mai here to see you. And this dwarf in the back turns around and says, Thrasham Mai, let him in. Never mind, I'll come to the door.
Pull the other one up.
You yourself are Thrasham Mai?
I am.
Then I'm guessing you're here to help us with our plight. Those damn monsters that have moved into our mine. They've taken up the entire mine and the caves in between the mine and the prison down in the swamp.
Yes, I heard about the hydras and stuff. Is there something else in there besides just hydras?
Well, from time to time the guards tell me that they see some kind of creatures feeding on the stone. They kind of look like big lumps of rock with like 3 arms and 3 eyes. And they just kind of come out of the stone every once in a while and looks like they eat it.
Oh yes, I have encountered those before. The name escapes me, but they were pretty dangerous. Although they usually don't bother people too much. But they must play havoc with your minds. Caleb Durr or something like that.
And Calamar and Company.
Calamar and Olivia are gonna trot up behind Thrasham and just kind of eavesdrop on this little conversation they're having and find out what's going on. Calamar is gonna be kind of unobtrusively like peeking in to the temple and like checking out like the mosaics and the statue and be like,
Oh
but,
yeah.
Olivia is more interested in paying attention to what Thrasham's saying, but
Yeah, that statue in the back looks like it's pretty similar to, in value to that statue that was in the middle of the arcade in Enervia City, the one that was made out of the gold bullion of millions of gold. This looks like a similar volume of gold.
wow.
So very, very rich stuff.
Scary.
Yeah. The altar itself looks like a fine work of art. The one that's placed in between the 2 braziers, as well as the mosaics themselves as well. The altar is about 5 feet long, and it's shaped from overhead like a hammer, but the center of it is actually an anvil.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And it looks like the altar, because of the placement of the braziers, could be used as a workshop.
Nice.
To forge magical things, possibly. Dun dun dun. Okay, and we have the hill dwarf gets dragged off a little bit more. Varen and company. So you see Thrasham ahead of you talking with this new dwarf that looks like this. He looks slightly different than the other dwarves. He is his head is shorn bald. Okay. He has a brown beard, and he has tattoos on his head and piercings in his ears and nose. And he wears a holy symbol around his neck of a hammer and anvil. Yeah. What does Varen want to do? James, I can hear your brother, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't say anything quite yet. Alright, so So there's a gold statue in the back, more fires, and they're talking about hydras. How many? I guess I'll address the Dean Dorvo. Exactly how many of these creatures have you seen? And how large were they?
Well,
and against the hydras, how many heads?
Which creatures are you talking about? Are you talking about the ones with the 3 arms and 3 eyes, or are you talking about the hydras? Hydra.
If you could give me both, I'd be happy.
Well, the hydra are about, let's see, they're huge. Let's see, they attacked our prison down there and kind of made their way through the mines and stuff. I guess, they were about 30 feet long-ish. They had a bunch of heads and stuff. I don't know how many. But, we know of at least 2 of them. And they just tore right through the prison gate down there in the swamp at the edge of the hills where the prison opens up out into the swamp and stuff. They just tore right into that. And, we actually got a temple inside that prison too that just, I don't know about what happened to it, but yeah. And they tell me that part of the prison got flooded when they attacked. So it's kind of weird, like that didn't used to happen when I was young. It's like maybe the swamp's filling up or something and it's flowing into the prison. That's kind of strange. I never seen anything like that in my lifetime. But, yeah, and then out there in the siege towers, every once in a while, I get reports of them guys seeing some kind of weird creatures that look kind of alien or something, like they eat rocks or something, and they just kind of pop up out of nowhere, like maybe they're digging through the stone or something. They just pop up out of the stone floor in the cave, and they never really fought them yet, but they look like let's see, their wide body seems to be made of pebbly stone-like material, and they got a large, powerful mouth on top of their head with 3 long arms tipped with sharp-looking talons, symmetrically positioned every 120 degrees around them. Between the arms are large, stone-lidded eyes that seem to see in all directions. And then at their base are 3 thick, short legs, each directly beneath an eye. And it looks like their whole body is designed for burrowing, mouth first. But that's just what they look like. I don't know if that's true. That's what they tell me.
Huh. I'm surprised you have not encountered them earlier, given that you both seem to dig in the same area.
Yeah, I ain't never seen monsters like that in the mines. Like, it's usually just us dwarves in there. But, they seem to have appeared around the same time the Hydra attacked the prison, whatnot. I hope there aren't other monsters in there too, because that would kind of slow us down. Oh, by the way, can I come with y'all? It's been a long time since I crushed some skulls, and I'd sure like to crush some skulls. Yeah.
Huh.
I have no objection, but it'll be dangerous.
Oh, yeah? Oh, well, that's all right. I'm used to dangerousness. I've helped defend these parts many times in my life. Oh, yeah. I'm almost as famous as you among these hills. Almost, I guess, kind of.
Oh, you must be truly worthy of your title then. To be a high priest of this area of such skill.
And Jezzy's turn.
I'm by the animal. Holy crap. Oh, she's just flying around looking around as y'all talking. She can hear both of it, but she's just flying around.
Okay. There's sort of a slight updraft over the two braziers because they're burning pretty hot. And as you fly over the mosaics, the air cools down. And these mosaics are pretty beautiful. There's one here of a dwarf with a beard, sort of like tribal looking, with a horned helmet. And then just beyond that, towards the door, is this one is of an anvil. A mosaic of an anvil. Okay. And Thrasham and Company.
So Thrasham will just go, well, before we go in, I just wanted to bring up the issue of that strange murder that happened right before we got here. I was hoping to make sure that the guilty party got a fair trial. It seemed people were pretty worked up over it when I got here.
Murder? What are you talking about? First time I heard
Apparently, some people that were in the marshalling grounds or whatever got really angry at each other and lashed out at each other, and one's killed the other one. We saw the guards escorting the prisoner
What?
to the jail as we came in. They were quite angry. They were just dragging him by his hands. I talked to them though, and I got them to treat him a little bit more dwarfishly.
You telling me two of my dwarf soldiers got in a tangle and one killed the other?
Yes.
Well,
apparently.
what tarnation? That never happens. What the hell? Something's up. Did you guys bring
Yeah.
bad blood with you? Bad luck?
I don't know. We seem to get into a lot of trouble, but we usually get through it. But I don't know what your his last rites would be like, but if you think his family would be willing, I could raise him in a day or so as I ask for new favors from Baranar.
You can raise the dead too?
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's a miracle I'm not yet capable of myself. I've got some time before my faith grows that strong. Man, that I sure would be obliged if you could raise my soldier back from the dead. His family would probably be pretty thankful. Probably be pretty thankful too. I sure would appreciate that. If you could.
Yes. Just make sure they don't cremate the body or anything, and it should be good. You don't have to wait until my morning's prayer tomorrow, but if we go to the dungeon and get out again, this should be fine to do it tomorrow.
Okay, you want to do a quick hit and run on the dungeon and then come back and camp or sleep or whatever?
Yes, because it
Oh,
seems
good.
better than just waiting a day to go to the dungeon.
Yeah. Well, let's see. For accommodations, we got the inn up in along the north wall. If you go through town towards the north, you got to go back towards let's see. Actually, if you go out back behind the temple, there's a way to get there too, and then you could just kind of follow the walls around to the north wall. And then you gotta pass through another gate because this is kind of the inner sanctum of the city. So
Yeah.
there's another gate there. But once you get on the other side of that there gate, then you know you'll be basically right in front of the inn almost. And let's see, people from all over the place like to hang out in that inn. I heard there's some travelers there now, actually. Some guys from, oh, I guess from across the swamp, I think. They came all the way out here to try to tackle this dungeon just like you guys. And I heard they made friends with our very own Dolan. You ever heard of him? He's a locksmith. Dolan Farcane.
Yes,
yeah,
I believe
he's a
we've
native here.
crossed paths a few times.
Yeah, I heard he went out into the wilderness on a foray to find other adventurers, and he eventually found some, but he came back pretty quickly after that. I guess he didn't like the amount of treasure you guys were getting, like it wasn't enough or something, so he came back.
Yes.
But he's here now. That's pretty cool. You met him. You know, he's my clansman. Yeah.
Seemed pretty competent at his job when we met. It's unfortunate that him and his friend or contractor sort of had a falling out, and then he left.
Oh, yeah. And Calamar's turn.
Calamar's sitting here wondering who this Dolan guy is. Never met this guy. Just wondering about how many hydras there are and what these creatures with the eyes and the stuff are, and just how soon we're going to be going into the dungeon and stuff. But he's not going to say anything. He's just going to sit here and look. I'm done.
I'm not. Yeah, I think Dolan left the party the week before you came in as Calamar. So,
They might have mentioned him in passing or something, but she never met him. He never met him, so.
Yeah. Yep.
So no, that's other than just sitting here being confused. I
think he was only with us for the that one tomb of Arkenhot or whatever, and then left right afterwards or whatever. Because the player left or something like that?
Yeah, the player kind of disappeared from everything. Like, he disappeared on Discord, and like it was kind of strange. I was in a couple different communities with him. But yeah, Calamar was his replacement.
Oh, yeah. Well, the funny thing is Calamar's sitting there going, didn't get enough loot? What?
Yeah.
Jangle at his coin purse, going, what is he talking about? But okay, I do it. And so we'll just wait until it's time to go. Calamar and Olivia will. So.
Okay, the Hill Dwarf gets dragged off a little further, and Varen and company. James, you there?
You muted, Varen?
Are you muted, James? Okay, we'll take of Jezzy and company.
I'm just gonna fly back out. I'm just scoping everything out, fly over this little bearded dwarf, fly over another smelly one.
Okay.
I'm gonna move back out here by, Olivia. It'd be the safest place for me.
Livio smells good. Livio bathes regularly.
All right.
Hey, dwarves bathe. They just bathe in ale.
Took everything in me not to go over and scratch on the back of the statue and write my name in it in the gold.
Dwarves bathe all the time. They bathe in their own sweat. Okay. Thrashing and company.
All right, so Dashim's like, okay, well, we don't really need to sleep tonight, but I guess it'd be good to see if anybody's at the inn that's willing to come with us. He turns to like Calamar and where he knows Jezzy is and stuff like that, and he goes like, do any of you guys wish to meet some new friends, make friends?
Oh, if nothing else, it'll make the journey a bit lighter on us.
Friends are awesome!
Oh, hell yeah, they are. Yep.
All right, and then Dashim will look at what was the name of the high priest again?
My name's Dean. Dean Dorvo. Yeah. Pleased to meet you. Thrasham March Eye.
It's May I?
Oh, may I? Yeah, I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah. But, as in Father May I when I was younger. You gotta laugh. But,
Oh, yeah.
but, do you have anything you need to do before we start leaving, or?
Hold on, let me grab my backpack. I got it in here right around the corner. Yep, here it is. All right, let's go.
You're a Susan adventure to be so prepared. Okay, you can lead on to the inn. I guess we'll make nice and say hello to some people, and then we can head out.
Yeah, I got my my battle axe and got my battle axe and my warhammer here. I dual wield them. Yep. 'Cause on account of I don't need a shield because I got this splint mail here. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. We got to go round back here, and it's pretty much a straight curved path around to the inn. Why'd you want to go to the inn for? I thought you said you wanted to do a drive-by in the dungeon first, or did you want to?
No, we're going to do that, but we were interested in at least talking to these other adventurers, see if they knew anything, and see if any wished to come with us.
All right. Well, come along then. It's right this way. I'm gonna turn the tracker off so you can follow.
Yeah. After hearing Dean say, "Oh, Nisha, I got this here split mail," you just see Egg Bear in the back just laughing.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So everyone can move with free action just because the NPC is leading, and
we're all basically waiting anyway.
Yeah. And then don't forget your army in the back.
Yeah, I just can't move too many at once, otherwise I get stuck in the light walls.
Yeah. Yep. This temple, we built this temple about, a couple hundred years ago. Yep. Bother Doom's pretty old now.
I gotta say I'm impressed. I recently built my own temple, and it was a lot of hard work, and it's not nearly as big as this place.
Yeah, well, this is, back in the day, this was a pretty popular, place. It was a very rich, dwarf, bastion of, dwarfdom and gold. On account of our mine is a very lucrative, copper mine.
Ah, yes, we built our temple on a iron mine. It gets the job done, but most of our money comes from healing the sick and being sort of a way station of health along the road.
Yeah. I got some soldiers up here kind of guarding this courtyard a little bit.
Do you have a lot of trouble, other than the things in the mine with monsters?
Oh, wait a minute. Do I not have the sunlight turned on?
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
It was pretty dark, yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess dwarves don't use lights.
Some dwarves, but, not hill dwarves either.
I didn't notice.
Because when we're near certain people, they got more light radiating off.
There we go.
All right.
Yep, this is our rich end of town. It's kind of well protected compared to the rest of the city. It's where I stay. These are pretty nice houses. We build our houses out of wood on account we're hill dwarves. I'd imagine it's a bit different for mountain dwarves, ain't that right, Thrasher?
Oh yes, pretty much everything except the fixtures is made of stone. Like, a couple doors and stuff, but other than that, stone and stone.
Yeah.
I get to see a dwarf hard enough to sleep on a stone bed.
Yeah, I think
Of course, I don't sleep much at all.
yeah, stone beds can be pretty comfortable. You just gotta chisel them right. Yeah. Stuck.
Oh, you're stuck?
Yeah, I think I just got thrashed him off, but yeah, I got stuck on the corner. Dwarf moves too fast. I lost him.
Okay. Maybe that's a little better.
Yeah.
I'll just
To
kind
the
of
right.
stack these up a little bit. Yeah, he went
East or whatever.
through here, and then to right about here. Well, yep. Hopefully, with your help, Mr. Maya, we can, I mean, wait a minute. Don't they call you a saint nowadays or something?
I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with that thing. Last I heard it was high priest, but I mean, I don't know. I am the highest ranking priest I know in pretty much all of dwarfdom, but I don't know what that would put me at. I surpassed my old teacher in Duragard like a year or so ago.
Interesting. Yep, so this kind of looks like a crossroads, but it ain't. You just keep going up here.
Interesting architecture.
Oh yeah, we call it Bavarian.
Interesting city. So, long-term goals, Thrasham?
Yeah, what's your long-term goals?
Well, I have prayed to Baranar in the past, and she has shown me an insight of how to build a truly awesome weapon. I would like to construct it at one point. So I have consecrated my altar and everything. And it would just be nice to truly be able to create something to, you know, rejoice in Baranar's grace and goodness. Leave my mark on the world, so to speak.
Interesting. What about you? They call you Varen, I guess? That's what they've been saying? Pleased to meet you. I'm Dean Dorvo. High
Nice
Priest
to
of
meet
these
you,
lands.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Dorvo.
Nice to meet you.
I suppose my long-term goals would be, guess to build my own fortress, followed by getting myself a rather large ship.
A ship?
Fine,
You mean
that's
for
it.
like sailing
Yeah.
and stuff? Let's see here. That way leads out to the backyard. Oh, yeah, I know. It's this way. Yep. Right over here. Some of these houses might look small, but I assure you they're bigger on site.
what she said, right?
Especially since I imagine you could give yourself quite the basement.
Oh yeah, basements and stuff. Yep. We dwarves do love basements.
You got the Jezzy filter on there.
Yep. What's a dwarf 5-story house? one lobby and 4 basement floors.
I've been looking at my housing plans.
Yep, so now we're getting towards the end of the... Hey, you guys up there, open up that gate. Yep, they got the gate open now.
This is a big city.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of dwarves, so... And we get a lot of guests, and we're rich. Yeah. You know, copper mine and
You
all.
guys just keep going straight.
Yep, just keep on going straight.
Gotta say, it'd be really complicated layout for an invading army.
Given the size of the city and the rather zealous nature of their guards, I doubt any invader would have an easy time here. I mean, if one dwarf will kill another just for butt touching, imagine what they'll do if you actually try to hurt someone inside their town. Wouldn't end well for you.
They guard the town like they guard their ass. Doubt too much.
So, where do y'all come from? I kind of know where Thrasham's from somewhere out west. What about the rest of y'all?
I can't hear you. You're still on the high-pitched voice.
Oh, you're not going through yours.
So I know where Thrasham's from, but what about the rest of y'all?
Olivia says, greetings. I am Olivio. I am from Elistar. My grandfather is the king there.
Oh, that one place down in the that Sylvan Forest, yeah, on the other side of the hills. I've heard of that place. We got legends about that.
Oh, it's quite the legendary place.
Yes.
When you ask... Go ahead.
I was going to say the architecture looks nothing like. I must say, I'm impressed with the dwarvish workmanship.
Yeah, these here Bavarian buildings. We just call this kind of architecture Bavarian on account of Bavar, the dwarf, who invented them. Good old Bavar. Yep, he was a good old architect.
But yeah,
Go ahead.
Thrasham, yes, I am from Durgard, and so is my lovely companion, Beltola. He points to, the female dwarf, obviously. And then I ran across this gray elf named Willowith in a town called Newport, but he's actually from Lucilia City. It's a gray elf town sort of hidden in the hills in the south, I believe. Way to the south. And then Scarrett here, and he pats Scarrett on the shoulder. There's actually somebody we came across in the wilds. We subdue him, and he led us to his former colleagues that had kidnapped some people from a town, and he was pretty much instrumental in recovering the kidnappees. Since then, he's proven himself a friend several times over. He's slain many a dragons.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy. Doesn't speak common though, so if you want to talk to him, you have to speak in Gobblish. Do you know Gobblish?
Nope, but I know, let's see here. I can speak, let's see, let me recall.
Hold on his iPhone.
I speak, I speak, the common tongue, which we're talking right now. And then I also speak, Dwarvish. Yep, good old Dwarvish. But you know, I can do a lot of stuff. Like, you know, I'm good at endurance, intimidation. I know a lot about religion. I got an amazing singing voice. I can write dwarf runes. I make armor on the altar in the temple. Yep. And let's see. I'm good with herbs, and I'm a doctor. And I could also learn something else right now. Kind of feel like learning maybe another language. Hey, you guys want to teach me another language?
Sure. I know lots of languages, so I can teach you another language.
Yeah. And then I also know spellcraft. Yeah, I'm pretty good at spellcraft. But yeah, I can dual wield my battle axe and my warhammer real good, and I know how to use shields real good too. I just don't own one right now, but you know, I could buy one, I guess. So
It's funny. Baron kind of digs to his pack and says, "Oh, you need a shield." He hands Dean a non-magical shield.
what size?
Medium.
Oh wow. I sure do appreciate that, Mr. Varen. I sure do appreciate that quite a lot, actually.
No problem, Mr. Dorvo. May save your life one day.
You made a friend.
You made a friend. Friends are great.
Yeah, he comes up to you and Varen, and he's got this big old smile on his face, right? And you can see that his teeth, they have chunks of white and green, looks like curdled milk stuck between them. And like as he smiles, you can smell the smell of curdled milk kind of coming out of his mouth a little bit. And he holds his little dwarven paw out to shake your hand. And, you know, he's got these thick crow's feet on either side of his eyes and everything. And his little bald head is just kind of shining in the sun.
Baron would shake his hand.
Oh, I appreciate that shield very much, Mr. Varen. Well, hell, maybe I'll stick with you when we go through this dungeon if you guys will let me accompany you.
Well, if you do, I'll be happy to fight by your side.
All right. What level is Varen?
7.
Okay. Well, here we are. Let's see. This is the guest part of town, so you've got any points. Right over here, you got the inn. It's a pretty good inn. I mean, it's not a poor inn. It's not a poor inn. It's a good inn. Okay, and then over here we have the stables, ran by Saddler Dalco. He sells mules and ponies, and then sometimes there's room to hold your mounts in there. But I think the stable is completely full on account of nobody's been buying ponies or mules. So there's lots of ponies and mules for sale in there, I think. And then, oh, did I mention Barkeep Bellbore runs the bar here? Well, the inn. And, yeah, just make yourselves at home. I'll come on in and have some grog with you or something. Maybe they got some gut shaker. I come here and get my gut shaker every couple of days on account of, well, I just love gut shaker because gut shaker tastes good to me. Gives me good breath. Yeah. Smell that. Yeah. Only a real dwarf. Only a real dwarf gets to drink gut shaker. And I'm going to reopen the turn order.
Yeah, he still has no idea Jezzy even. And Calamar hasn't introduced himself yet because he's not sure how Dean's going to take it. So he's just kind of like, just, you know, I mean, it's obvious he's a drow. What else is he going to suppose?
He's just extra crispy.
Yeah. I just need a bath. That's all. Just a bath.
All right, it's Calamar and Company's turn.
All right, so Calamar and Olivia are going to hop down. Is there like a place we can time up outside? Oh, hey, Azure is probably going to stay outside, right? You can watch the animals.
Yeah.
Now what he usually does?
Usually.
And so yeah, they'll cruise. Well, no, I think we'll wait for Thrasham to go in first. I don't think that just Calamar cruising into a bar is the best idea unless he's got his legendary friend Thrasham with him on his, you know.
It looks like on either side of the door is like a fence type thing that's meant for mounts to be tied up at.
Okay. So we'll time up over there. These are good horses. Yes, you are.
And you can see there are a bunch of dwarves inside, well, several dwarves as you approach. There's an elf, a half-elf, and a dwarf sitting at a table together, along with a human, I think? 2 humans. Or is it 2 half-elves? 2 half-elves and a human, I think. Let me check the race on this guy.
It's always elves.
Yeah, 2 half-elves, an elf, a human, and a dwarf. And then several dwarves sitting at this table here. And there's another dwarf sitting at the bar. And the bar is being tended by what other than another dwarf?
Goblin.
Yeah, so we'll just wait outside the door until Thrasham goes in. Calamar's being super cautious right now.
Yeah.
He's pleased he hasn't been run out of town on a rail yet, so it helps.
Okay.
It's not who you know, it's who knows you, really.
That's what Jesse feels. You can't see me? You don't. Everybody loves you when they can't see you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough.
Why do you think Calamar was so excited to get that invisibility spell?
All right. So, Varen and Company. Dean seems to just be right behind you.
You got a rear guard now.
Puppy.
Yeah, I figure since Dean's there to, I guess, smooth things over for us in case they look at us funny, Varen will just walk right in.
And Dean follows closely behind.
So, Dean, you say they serve a thing called a gut shaker.
Oh yeah, gut shaker is, well, I guess you could call it a liqueur. It's made out of goat's milk. You know, curdled goat's milk. Yeah, it's pretty tasty. You know, it's got this nice curdled goat's milk aroma with and it's got this nice like green moldy color on the curds when it's curdled, and it's got white chunks of stuff in it. You know, lots of bacteria. Oh, it's great for digestion. And then when it comes out the other end, woo-wee! Oh, it's the best. Yes, sir. It's kind of halfway between a liqueur and a snack. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, like cheese, but in liquid form. You know what I'm talking about? Like liquid cheese. You ever had liquid cheese before?
Yeah, very kind of part where it says he's kind of like he has like a far off look in his eyes, like he's remembering something that happened very, very long ago. Then he looks at Dean and says, "Get me one."
I thought Baron didn't eat or drink.
All right,
Well-
Billboard. You heard the man. 2 gut shakers. Chop chop.
Well, that's the thing, I'm polymorphed into a human, so I think I can handle actually eating while I'm transformed. Because I'm not sure if I have a stomach as an Ozzer since I don't eat. But I guess while I'm polymorphed, I do.
So Belbor behind the bar, he goes, "Yes, Your Eminence." And he comes over to this keg over here, and he grabs not flasks or anything like that, not like cups or anything, but he grabs 2 leather bladders from on top that are covered with goat's fur, and they have a cork stopper. And he, opens up the corks and pours this foul-smelling, chunky liquid out of the barrel into these goat skin bladders, and he places them on the bar. And then he walks out around the edge of the bar, comes out and just sort of says, "Can I get you gentlemen a seat? We have this seat is open, and how many of you are there? We've also got plenty of seats at the bar."
Oh, you're about to find out. Verka looks at the back. He already sees Calamar and Luvio and motions for them to come in.
And Jezzy's move.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually floating down on the ground, and I'm grabbing a tiny little grip of Calamar's cloak, because I'm assuming you have a cloak on, right?
On Calamar.
Oh, you were talking to me? Yeah, I have a cloak.
Okay, so she just grabs a tiny bit of his cloak. She's walking now. No one can see her, but she's holding it enough to where no one can notice it by the visible eye. And she's just gonna keep close, because she's never been in this kind of situation, so she's a little scared.
Aww.
So you feel a tiny little tug at your cloak, Calamar.
Aww. And he comes to Calamar for safety. Aww. He is the safest one in the bunch.
Just don't fart.
Okay, anything else from Jezzy?
No.
Alright. Thrasham and Company.
Alright. So Thresham shall get off and enter the bar. Tie up some animals in the front. And leave Azuro and scared outside stuff to keep watch over everything.
Again.
Selects Thresham.
Okay.
Just gonna hitch my bear up to the hitching post.
Yeah, it's bear friendly.
Oh.
It'd be funnier if Papa Gur went inside and was like, "Arr."
You don't serve bears here? What kind of establishment is this?
He just wants a picnic basket.
He walks in upright even, man. I mean, you gotta be awesome. Okay.
It's on a chain, it breaks under. Arr.
So you said Thrasham and Beltola?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
walks
you get inside, and it looks like there's a nice brass threshold, polished brass, and then there's a huge fireplace over to the right as you walk in, just gigantic. It's very, very hot, and there are lots of nice smells coming from it.
All right, and then he looks across the room. He recognizes Dolan. Does he recognize the rest of the people at the table over here?
No, but this one right here is Dolan, and Varen, you would recognize. Wait, no, you wouldn't, because
No, I wouldn't. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
Dylan left before
yeah.
Lucas died.
Yep. Okay. But yeah, that's Dolan. So he looks like this. And then right, let's see, right here, you have a high elf, a half elf here, a human here, another half elf, and then you have Dolan. And then this is a hill dwarf, barkeep Belbor, and then another hill dwarf. And just as you come in, you see barkeep Belbor come over to the bar and grab 2 pouches. Who's got the fan blowing on their mic?
I don't hear anything now. It was like a big whooshing sound a second ago.
Yeah, it was weird. But he comes over to the bar. He grabs 2 goatskin pouches full of liquid off of the bar, and he walks over to Varen and Dean and hands one of them to each of them.
Dasham will just shake his head. You'll be feeling that in the morning. I would suggest not more than a sip. We have work to do today.
Anything else from Thrasham and Company?
He'll, wave. Is Calamar in yet, or is he just by the door still?
No, Calamar seems to be acting very cautiously. He seemed to be waiting for you to enter the bar first.
Yeah, Thrasham will just turn around and wave him in. Come on, Calamar. You'll never make any friends outside. They'll love you in here.
Calamar and Company.
Calamar's like, yay, friends! And so he starts, he'll go in first, and with Alluvio behind. And he'll walk in and just kind of look around with that country bumpkin in the city look again. And he'll go over here and he'll have a seat at the bar.
Okay.
And then Alluvio will come in and join him. Sit right next to him and start talking to him like they're buds.
Yeah, the barkeep, he sort of rushes around the edge of the bar to get behind it, and he says, Well, welcome to Belbor's bar. What can I get for you? We got Wow, beer, ale, wine, gut shaker, and water. We always got water. Lots of water up here in the hills.
What do you think, Olivia? Should we get some wine? Okay, yeah, we'll have some wine.
Oh yeah, it's a great kind of wine made out of these grapes we got up here in the hills. They're see, what we do is we pick the grapes and then we age them until they start stinking, and then we squish them underneath our dwarven feet, and then see, after that we take out all the chunks because there's chunks floating around in there, and then we let it get kind of moldy, and then we scrape the mold off the top, and then we put it into a wood cask and age it for about 2 days, and then we serve it. And it tastes great.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
I guess. I
Here's
can't wait to try it.
Only the most pure dwarf maidens step on our grapes.
Here's 2 cups. Let's see, that'll be let's see here. Carry the 3, 5 remainder. Divided by pi.
6 diamonds.
1.1415.
Pulls out his finger.
Obtuse triangle. Cosine. Square root.
He said being a bartender is not hard.
To the tangent of 5. Let's see. Times -0. Plus 1. Sales tax. Let's see. Wine tax. Let's see. Mold tax. Carry the 2. Plus 9. I gotta have some gratuity. Plus 2. Let's see. Money and equipment.
Yeah, elf tax.
Elf tax.
That only makes sense.
Let's see. Ale per gallon. That's 2 silver, but wine is.
Like
that'll
2
be 4
copper.
silver. Oh wait, no. Because it's the same price as beer. That's right. Beer. Ale per gallon. Beer. Where's beer at? What happened to beer? Where'd
Where's
beer go?
the beer gone?
Why's all the beer gone?
Rasham's been at the bar again.
Well, I guess that's 2 silver each, so 4 silver.
So he'll pull out 5 silver. Calamar will pull it out of his pouch and he'll put it on the table. He's like, "Thank you, sir." And there's a little something extra just for you for explaining all about how it's made.
All right.
I'm really looking forward to trying it. And he takes a sip of it, and oh my god, you have to taste like.
Okay,
Tell
so
me, does it taste like
it actually
dwarf
tastes.
toe fungus?
It actually tastes like regular wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tastes like regular wine.
Oh, really?
A little
Looks
beer
like-
here flowing through it though.
Olivia is looking at him like, and he looks at Olivia and he kind of gives him the like, "No, it's totally fine to drink it. Go ahead."
Yeah, it's our own patented, perfected process where we can kind of mass produce wine on a short time scale, shorter than most wineries make wine. Yeah, it's something we figured out, us dwarves. Yep. Anyways, all right. And Varen and Company.
Yep. Varen downs the gut shaker.
Okay.
Yep. So I saw this coming.
You die. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So, you take a bit of gut shaker into your mouth, right?
Yep.
and you can feel the chunks hit your tongue, and the burning starts. And you go to swallow, and you feel like these chunks go down into your gullet, and it just burns all the way down, like that first time you ever drank whiskey in your entire life.
Oh, that kind of burn. Wow, but I'm still standing but am I still standing and conscious?
Well, okay, so then the taste of it hits you, and it tastes like a foot barfed in ass. And kind of like moldy, like old cream cheese or something. Like if you've ever had a cheesecake that just smelled like feet. That's what this tastes like. It tastes like feet.
And then the texture, it's like drinking a soul milk.
The texture is kind of like drinking, not cottage cheese, but more like
Rot.
like hard rice in water. That's what it feels like. So the chunks are kind of hard.
Chew your drink.
Yeah. And it kind of makes you choke a little bit, and then the smell comes out of your mouth. Like you cough, the smell comes out of your mouth, and then you smell it, and it smells like feet. Like you just took off your boot after a long hike, right?
Yeah.
But you wore dirty socks that day.
Oh.
Or like Limburger cheese. If you ever smelled Limburger cheese, okay?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, the smell of that hits your nostrils, and your nostrils like they expand to maximum diameter, and your whole face just turns green, right? And you double over, and it just all comes right back up. Okay? And then the burning starts again, but this time it's twice as intense because it's mixed with your human body's stomach acid. And then you've never felt stomach acid coming up before because you've never eaten. So now, not only have you drank essentially whiskey for the first time, but you're now vomiting for the first time in your life, okay? So the pain, this intense pain wells up from inside your guts as your guts are literally shaken by this gut shaker, right? And the chunks, the hard chunks of goat's milk come back up, and there's this like white and yellow mixture of foul-smelling chemicals that come out that are intermixed with moldy green chunks of white, almost fuzzy chunks of like goat cheese, basically. They hit the floor and expand out into this disgusting looking puddle. And now that it's on the floor mixed with your stomach acid, it becomes even more disgusting, and the smell hits your nose from that, and it just makes you even more nauseous, and you start dry heaving even though there's nothing more to vomit up. And it is so disgusting.
Time for round 2.
Yeah, it's time for round 2, and you just start dry heaving.
No, I meant like he drinks another round.
Gut shaker. The name is very apt.
Yeah, and there's this big old pool of vomit on the floor right in front of you that I'm gonna turn green in a second. It's gonna turn brown when I turn it green, though. Because I think red and green make brown. Yep, there it goes. Alright. And then Dean's like...
It ain't for everybody.
And Jezzy.
Darn, that's
I
not
have
the
no idea what's going on inside, sweet.
So you see Varen in his human form. vomiting lumpy mess all over the floor. And it smells horrible.
So I start walking up into the thing and I smell it and I'm just like,
It smells like feet.
I'm doing everything not to make noise, but she's making little sounds. She's just gonna. Oh, you need a bath. Oh, sweet Jesus.
So we need soap.
It's an acquired taste.
They can't see me. They just hear it. Gross. She ain't gonna go no farther. Right there tells her, no bueno. She's like,
So, as Varen vomits all over the floor, the dwarves don't seem to mind. They just kind of look at him, and then they look at the pool, and they just start laughing, and they go back to drinking. But this elf over here, he just sort of like turns around, and he looks at the pool of stuff on the floor, and then he goes back to the table, and he like pinches his nose.
Yeah, Vera makes a little note. If I ever need to torture someone, I'll keep this stuff in mind.
I'm just gonna stay right here. Oh, no, I lied. I'm stepping at least a step back.
Alright, Thrasham and Company.
Johnson just shakes his head, and he probably doesn't want to tell him they'll scrape that back up and serve it again later. But he walks further in, and he's like, "Well, guys, you make any good friends?" Anyway, he notices Dolan and his table over there, and he like waves to him. He goes, "Hey, Dolan, how goes it?"
Oh, yeah. Dolan, he looks over and he's like, well, I did make these friends here. This is Salian here. This is Daryl. Spivey, the man. And this is Snidely.
Ah. So you guys here to slay the Hydra too, or whatever? Hydras?
Oh, maybe. Unless you beat us to it. We only have one fighter. And no healers.
Yes, that might prove difficult. I'd like to introduce you to my friends over here. This is the guy puking at his guts as he learns about the dwarven strength is Varen. He's a pretty strong fighter.
Go ahead, Kiko.
You got Calamar and Alluvio over here. They provide
enthusiastically like, hey guys!
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you.
Just don't mention any frogs.
What? Frogs?
Oh, because of that frog place you were going to go to.
Oh yeah, we cleansed the place of its evil, but Alluvio has had reactions to them, and it's not a pleasant place anymore.
He stands up and he comes over to you. Drink in hand. Well, will you be needing any help? I've never adventured with these folks before, so I'm kind of a little bit skeptical about going in without a healer.
I personally am sort of full up. I don't think I could mentor anybody else right now, but perhaps my friends might need your assistance, or some of your friends even.
Oh. Well, we do have a fighter and a half. I neglected to mention that Daryl is part fighter, as you could probably see from his field plate, and this guy right here is wearing field plate. It's a pretty good looking field plate, like it's nice and shiny, and he has an extremely shiny looking footman's mace and a shiny looking longsword at his hip and a shiny looking dagger.
Oh, wow. And that was one of the elves or the half elf?
The half elf at the southern side of the table, this guy right here.
Yeah.
And then this elf on the right side of the table, he's wearing chainmail, and he has two long swords. It was mentioned that his name is Thalion.
Yeah.
So yes, Shannon, it is Thalion.
Yes!
He's 5'4", approximately 98 pounds. He's a high elf. You can tell by the coloring of his hair and his pale skin that he's a high elf. He looks to be approximately 121 years old. He is extremely muscular, to the point that you can actually see the ripples in his muscles through his chainmail.
Wow.
A little more buff, and he couldn't wear medium-sized armor.
Yeah. I don't think any of you have ever seen an elf this buff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even Anatar.
Well, he's not an elf.
He's not an elf, technically, but yeah, this guy is almost as buff as Anatar.
Wow.
Almost.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes. It seems like he has muscles on top of muscles like Anatar does. And it looks like he has those two long swords and a short sword, and he has a quiver on his back with a short bow in it. And that's about it. These two guys on the left side of the table, the one on the bottom is human. He seems to be a bright-eyed youth with a crooked haircut. He is very tall. He's 6'4". He looks to be about 16 years old, weighing in at about 181 pounds. So he's a little on the light side for being 6'4". So he's fairly thin. He seems to be dancing a dagger around in between his fingers of one of his hands. So rather dexterous. He has a high quality looking longsword on his hip and a high quality looking dagger. And then he has also a quiver on his back and his hip with a short bow in the quiver on his back. A dozen arrows in each quiver. So 2 quivers. He looks to be like he's specialized in shooting things with a bow or so. Not a specialist, but you know what I mean. Like he just prefers. Yeah, he prefers to fight from a distance. And the other guy over here is a half elf. He looks. Let's see. To be about 30 years old. He's fairly tall as well, probably about 6 feet. Okay. And he has a long sword and a short bow with a quiver full of arrows. So rather old for an adventurer, I guess. Okay, so now we will get to Calamar.
Calamar's like, hey, Olivia, look, there's a high elf just like you. Are you related to him? No, I wouldn't ask that. But he's like, we should say hi. See where he's from.
So he kind of turns his head over towards you guys, and he just sort of like eye locks with you.
And Olivio's gonna turn around. And he looks at him. He says, "Hi, I'm
Hey,
Calamar, and this is my best friend and traveling companion, Olivio. And I just saw you over there and said, hey, look, another high elf. So where are you from?"
I'm Thalion. I come from the Haliathran family of Eliomarand. You may have heard of Eliomarand.
Have I heard of Eliomarand? I know Olivio must have.
So Illuvio.
Illuvio has heard of Eliomarand. The elves of Elistar lost communication with Eliomarand, like 10 or so years ago, at the beginning of this eon. And they later on found out that there was an incursion of orcs that expanded westward from just about the Eliomarand area and into North Panoplia. So many lands were conquered up there and remained enslaved till this day. The majority of the elves of Eliomarand were killed. So I'm actually going to show a handout for that. Northeast Panoplia, Eliomarand, edit, and you will be the only one that has access to it so far. Okay. So Eliomarand. Many years ago in the 4th Eon, Eliomarand was the bastion of High Elvendom in northeast Panoplia. It was a High Elven monarchy led by King Elliot Havenar and his wife, Queen Hannah. The only heir was Elliot's illegitimate son, Igor Magnar, the half-elven hero of Mitkiev, who died defending Eliomarand as it was invaded by a mutant army of Orogs. It consisted of a tree town in the elbow of Forever Forest's arm. Below the tree town lie a crypt of elves, which the Orogs would defile on a regular basis at the behest of their father, Chernobog.
Oh, wow. So the city still stands, or was it wiped out in this incursion or whatever? Or do we know?
The entire tree town has been knocked over. The trees have been hacked down. Yeah.
Oh my. So yeah, Olivio's gonna hop down off of his Eliomarand. I'm not even sure what to say to that. I mean, what do you say